Good evening. Welcome to Season Where the platform where we speak truth to power. Before we go any further, we're checking that everything is working for us because this has been a real problem this evening. We've been having some sort of technical issue all evening on this broadcast, and it has become something that we're thinking, no, we are going to fix this somehow. So we are trying to fix it. I'm hoping that you can see. Before I go too far ahead, I want to make sure that anybody can hear me. So I'm real sorry about this. We're trying to check that first. It's a replay of an earlier broadcast earlier today, the broadcast with Baba Kuboye. Uh, and you watched the entire broadcast. Apologies for the break in transmission earlier on. I think it is working fine, but I want to make sure that before we go too far ahead, that everything is functioning. There's been some sort of malfunction in the system today, so even though we thought it was running and it looked like for all intents and purposes that it was functioning, in actual fact it wasn't working. So that has actually held things up. So now I'm gonna go quiet, and you can now watch the entire broadcast. It was in conjunction with David Hamilton, my brother, um, and we had an interview with the winner, and let us watch the entire broadcast. Thank you for your understanding and patience. You are, of course, watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Let's sit back and relax. And now we are confident that the broadcast is really in full flow. Thank you, and let's proceed.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, America. Good afternoon, London. How you doing, Nigeria? Hello, everyone. Welcome on board. 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 Welcome to David Hamilton Voice and Concern Revitalization. Coming to you live from the city of London here with your main man, Akogun David, the London celebrity blogger. Welcome on board, everyone. Today's program, I'm not going to do it alone. We have co-host here today, Mr. AY is around. Ayo Ogunji Moses AY is here. They're going to host the program together today. So let me bring in my co-host. Welcome on board, everyone. Mrs. AY, welcome on board. Welcome on board. So,
Okay. Sure. Good afternoon. Okay, sir. I
uh,
greet everybody. Good afternoon, and it's great to be part of this discussion and great news this evening. Thank you so much for having me and asking me to be part of this broadcast. I very much appreciate it, sir. And I greet all the fans of David Hamilton, 234, and Concern No More Yoruba. Please make sure you share this broadcast. We need to reach as many people as possible, and of course, as ever, always subscribe to all the relevant platforms on YouTube, TikTok, all of that. And of course, the more you do that, the more you help us reach more people. We're grateful for your support. Thank you. Ekason.
thank you,
Everyone.
Mr. AY. Thank you again, once again. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, we are streaming live from David Hamilton, Citizen AY TV, Odudua Television, Concern Omoriba Television, and
Yeah.
Akogun David Hamilton. Please just share and invite your friend, let them know we're here. We are going to bring in today the interview with the legend himself, our own son, right away from Nigeria, our own son from Nigeria, one of the Kuti family, Baba Tumida Kuboye, based in America. The legend himself going to bring him today. Let's bring our guest in. Baba Tumida Kuboye is here with us this afternoon. Baba, welcome on board. Baba Tumida Kuboye, welcome on board.
Hey, good evening to everybody. Mr. Hamilton, David Hamilton, thank you for having me on. And
Thank
Mr. AY, I greet you too.
Good afternoon, my brother. Welcome on board. It's great to have you on board. And yeah, thanks for joining us. We appreciate you. And I'm no doubt you have a very busy schedule, but we appreciate you giving us the time to be able to have you in the studio for a few minutes of the time and tell us the good news and a bit more about yourself for the people to know. Thank you. Welcome on
Hey,
board.
I'll connect with my brother, so thank you very
Okay, so take it away, sir. Yeah.
Yes, Baba Tumida, please tell us more about, I know more a little bit about you. You're an engineer by profession.
much. Hmm.
Uh, yes, live in London before you moved down to America. When you moved down to America from Kuboye and Kuti family,
Hmm.
you play jazz and whatever. Okay, can you please tell me about yourself?
Sure, sure. Hello, beautiful people. My name is Babatunde Babafemi Abosede Kuboye, aka Mr. Robo Robo, aka Mr. Damp or whatever, aka your Ikoyi boy. I was born in Southwest Ikoyi, Lagos, Nigeria. Like David said, I used to live in England. I now live in the US. I'm an Afrobeat artist. I play saxophone, I play keys, I rap, and I sing. And before all of that, I studied engineering. I did 2 degrees in engineering. My first degree was in electrical and electronics engineering, and my master's was in mobile communication systems. I also studied a bit of music. I did songwriting and composition back in England. So that's me in a nutshell.
Babatunde Keyboy. Babatunde Keyboy. We are going to ask you a lot of questions today, so you must be ready. Ready. Now, Babatunde, I don't know where is he. Well, let's have 3 of us. I don't the type of music you play, is it Afrobeat or jazz music? I don't really know. Can you tell us more about your music? How do you come to music? I know your father and your mom, they are into jazz.
Mm,
Yeah, the owner of Jazz 38 in those days in Ikoyi, where we normally go there with Fela. Fela always come there with Jazz. I like all of them, many of all those artists in Nigeria, they come there with ambassadors or diplomats, they come
mhm,
there. I know
mm.
you are born there. So tell us much about your dad and your mom before we go to go
Sure,
further.
sure. So my parents did Afro beat, Afro jazz. They did original jazz music, and then they had their own music called Afro jazz. They released an album in the late '80s, early '90s called Gisting. Fela Kuti helped executively produce that album. Me and my sisters actually were on that album as well. I grew up in music, like David Hamilton said. My music is these days they call it Afro beat with an S, but I tend to think my music is a mixture of high life jazz and original Afro beat without the S. So, but it's mainstream, it's new school. So some people call it Afro beat jazz, some people say Afro jazz. When I was on the ballot for the Grammys this year, it was under global, and there's a new section or category called African Music Performance, and in some other categories or award settings here, it's under African Afrobeat without the S. So Afrobeat is global, it's music. You can listen and you can dance to it. Anyhow you want to call it, as long as you enjoy it, that's what that matters.
Yeah.
Afro Baba.
No, it's very nice.
Yes, Omo Ikoyi boy. Who is playing music now?
Okay.
Engineer profession. Explain why you want to say something.
No.
Yes.
I was just listening to what they said. In terms of the music, I suppose I wanted to ask a question.
Sure.
How you in the music scene when you first? I think you recorded some songs, didn't you, in other genres, and then you migrated. How was that process? How was that? How did you? How? Tell me about that evolution from.
That's a beautiful question. That's a beautiful question. As in my journey as an artist, it's important to express yourself in a way that is most comfortable and and best for you. So before I picked up the saxophone, I started playing keys or instruments. I used to just rap without singing because similar to my parents, and I'll put some context to this. My parents were doing jazz was the popular music of that time. They were doing standard jazz songs, Western jazz songs, and then they infused Afrobeat into it. I was more of a hip hop or an R&B guy initially with my rap because that's what I grew up listening to, and that's what I felt most comfortable with. But in my journey as an artist, I always knew I could do more. I didn't think I wanted to play instruments while performing because I thought live music wasn't cool. People of my generation, even though I grew up in a nightclub, I grew up in Jazz 38, I'll hear them play all this live, high life, Afro jazz music, or Afro beats when Fela came. But when I went to school, when I went to parties with my friends, I'll be hearing music from the radio that is more, more computer, more rhythmic, more consistent energy. And I wanted to find a way to blend the two. So initially, and that's a great question you asked, why that shows that you've been following my journey. Appreciate that. I started off as a rapper, and as time went on, I needed to find more ways for myself to challenge and to express myself more. And I can do these things. I grew up in a musical family, and so I started putting some live instrumentation into my music. And now, now I pick up the saxophone. Who knows the next instrument I might pick up? I'm thinking of the guitar, the overdrive guitar. I like that rock sound. I might go to trumpet. But the great thing about music is I want to be that kind of artist that if I hit the stage, I can lumber you with some rap, I can lumber you with some singing, I can lumber you with some dancing, I can play keys, I can play sax. Just switch up the dynamics because I'm a performer, it's what I do. So, so that's been my journey.
You're putting yourself in a very, very select few. I'm talking in terms of the great, late, great, the likes of Prince that can play almost virtually any instrument, sing anything, do anything. I mean, that's brilliant. Honestly, it's good to aim high. I'm really glad that you are, your vision and your how you see things, on progressing is along those lines, and it's self-expression.
Yes.
And that captures who you are in more ways than one. And I'm really glad that you are expressing that for people to see. So it creates an interesting aspect to how to look at how they will be looking at your music and how they come and when they come to your shows, what they will be expecting from you.
Yeah.
Oh, what's going to happen next? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really quite. Thanks for the very good answer. Very good answer. Thank you very much. I'm really pleased about that. I'll just ask maybe a couple more questions if I can. How we doing for time, Egmont? I think is he there? How would you say, Molly? I want a couple more questions. Okay. Good. That's fine. Now, I need you to give me where do you get your inspiration from? What inspires you? In the music, what inspires you? What inspires you to write songs? What kind of things grabs you and think, oh yeah, I'm gonna pen something? Yeah.
In my music, as part of my journey as well, I feel it's important to always have a message and be conscious. This is a gift. We all have our gifts. This is a gift bestowed upon me. It's important for me to use it to share knowledge or peace or joy, and also talk about my emotions as well. We are most powerfully emotional beings first. And I find myself most expressive when I can communicate an emotion. And if that emotion has a message that can help you or any other listener. And that's the drive I have with my music. So usually it always starts with an underlying message, or sometimes it can start with a melody or a rhythm. So I don't have a particular format of how I always start. But if I say 9 out of 10 times or 5 out of 10 times, at least more than half, I usually say that this is what I want to write about. So on my last album, Cultural Canvas, that I just released in September, every song that has a message, similar to the one before that from Ikoyi with Horns, which I released last year. So back-to-back years now with this, I won't say new, this evolved Baba Kuboye, where I'm more of a live instrumentationist. I've talked about racism. I've talked about celebrating women. I've talked about where I'm from, Ikoyi boy. I've talked about mental health. I've talked about, soft life, how material things are not always the best. I've talked about, being purposeful with your life. And the list goes on and on. I can break down each of my songs for you and explain to you my thought process behind it. But there's no point in me doing music. And there's nothing wrong about talking about fine girls love. These are, I won't call it trick, but these are things that is all part of the human day-to-day thing as well. Money, it's all important. I feel like, it's also important for me to make people think and, take their minds, expand their consciousness in ways that they may not normally do without listening to my music. So that's how I write my music.
Fantastic.
Baba,
Very good.
what did your dad or your mom say when you told them?
They said to me, go to school. In fact, they said, don't do music. Don't do what we're doing. Go to school, get a degree or two, because, and bless them, I can understand why. The industry was, or is, and can be very up and down. It's very volatile, or it can be. But they were supportive of me honing the craft, because they got me my guitar teachers, they got me my keyboard teachers. They, I was playing music with them, but they always said that, and I can understand why. They say that I should not pursue music as my primary career, because they wanted me not to go through a lot of the ups and downs that they went through. And they did the same thing as well. My mother was a dentist. My dad studied engineering like me, and he had businesses on the side to obviously support the music. So the music was really more of a passion and community impact kind of endeavor for them. But they encouraged me not to do it full time.
In your one of your video, Ikoyi boy, your dad, I think your dad was there, and I saw your mom and your grandmom pictured there, right? Mm-hmm. Let's hear more about your mom before we come back to you. Who is Frances Kuboye? Who is she?
Frances Kuboye. Well, first of all, she's the queen of my heart. She's my mother, my love. I love her, miss her dearly. She passed away in 1997, a few weeks after Fela did. Rest in peace always. And she was in that video. She had the picture of her. That song Ikoyi Boy talks about where I'm from. I take my listeners and myself for a journey, how God has blessed me. Now we get Market House and Morocco, because I used to grow up around Ikoyi, near Falomo. Now I live where I am with the music I do. But my mom's mother, my grandmother, is Fela's oldest sister, and Fela was the third born. Uncle Koye was second. So my mom is the first child of my grandmother, Dolupo Ransom Kuti. She was the first child of Fumilaya Ransom Kuti. And my mom's first child is a girl as well. So a lot of great feminine energy in my family. But my mom is a niece to Fela, to answer your question, and a cousin to the likes of Femi and cousin Nick and Dr. Everybody else that does in the Kuti set.
Okay, Nick, the daughter of Beko.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. No, very good. That's a good segue. Thinking of what Fela, the way Fela wrote, may so rest in peace, a great visionary in many respects.
Yes.
Tell me how his influences manifest in your songs. Yeah.
So heavily. So
because there's a family background, obviously, from what you're saying now.
Yes.
That merges. But aside from that, because the way a lot of his songs now, everybody around the world, I don't think there's anybody there's no part of the world that has not heard about Fela.
Yes.
And the message in it is resonant even today. So I would just wanted to know if that is flowing through, reflected somewhere in your music, and and the family connection, obviously. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. That's a great question. In more ways than one. A lot of people know Fela for what they see and hear from the media or TV or news. He was my uncle. I mean, we had conversations where we met up. So I knew him on a personal level. I watched him perform live from my balcony or from my bedroom. If he when he came to Jazz City, so when I used to go and watch him in Shrine, when my parents would let me, or when he used to do concerts or shows, I saw him as a human being and how his personal character was in terms of what he wanted to do with his music. People know him for his big band, for his dancers, and for his consciousness. A lot of people do not know, not as many people know that my parents also had a big band and were also about conscious music. So I say that to say that it's very similar. I think that we all stem from the same tree. My parents also had a big band, horn section. My mom dressed up as well. We didn't have dancers. Sometimes my sisters and I were the ones singing and dancing actually when we used to play with them or perform with them. But we come from a family of community service. Some people use music. My great grandmother, Fumilayo Kuti, used her voice to speak up for people. Her husband used his voice to spread the gospel. And we go back even before that. So people know Fela, people might know me, people might know Fenashon, but community service and Pupeko, Kukoye Kozinike, Kukoye was a minister of health. We want to give back to our communities in whatever capacity that we can do. Some people use music. Fela use music. I use music because that's my passion. And with that comes the message. When you asked me earlier on how I write my music, how I can spread consciousness or help elevate or help my people speak out for those that can't speak for themselves through my music.
Yeah. Brilliant. I've got one question for you, please. One more. Your award, could we see it, please? Could we see the award? Because we're talking about yourself, but we need, people need to understand the magnitude of the award that you won. It's not just a small thing. Could we see it?
Sure.
Thank you.
Bring out your award. Let's see all your award. Bring them.
Yes.
Baba the Baba.
So whilst it's getting that, I think it's many of us, please, as you're watching this, take time to share this broadcast because we need to celebrate ourselves. Part of our culture, what you're seeing is our culture playing live on screen before you, because it's part of a tradition of community servants who are working for the people, using music and other ways to communicate and reach to the entire world. That is something that is part of Yoruba culture. So when we come and bring programs like this with doing programs like this, we'd like you to share it to reach more people. And he's going to certainly bring his award to make you to let us all see, his accomplishment, and to hopefully inspire other up and coming young children to emulate what he's doing. Obviously, he's heavily influenced by Fela and, of course, his parents. And we want that to be reflected in the coming generation. So for me, like I said, this is something that we really, if you're watching and you haven't shared this broadcast, endeavor to share it. We need to make sure that we start talking about good news. He's back. Let's hear from you. Let's have a look.
So thank you. So this is I looked at the genre again. This is for this was the Hollywood Independent Music Awards. So I'm an independent label and artist, and they gave me a award for the genre is Afrobeat with an S, so Afro pop. It was for my single Ikoyi Boy. Thank you. That spoke about where I'm from, but also mentioned the massacre that happened at Toll Gate last year. That was off my album that I released in last year, called From Ikoyi with Horns. And this year, what I got was a certificate. I don't have an award to actually show. The Global Music Awards, my album I just released, called Cultural Canvas in September. Cultural Canvas is also, I'm very passionate about where I'm from. I'm very proud of my culture. I'm proud I'm a Yoruba boy from Nigeria. I'm a proud African, and that is also that's a stronger message I put in myself or in my music because I'm not even at home. So my album is called Cultural Canvas. I won an award for that, a Global Music Award for that, but that's a certificate. And I don't have that this year. So
wow.
Great.
Congratulations on two fronts. Congratulations on two fronts. Let us give a round of applause for that.
Thank you.
Honestly, I'm really, really glad. Congratulations, and please, we wish you more successes, more wins, and more accolades. Because it's the fruition of the labor of love that you've invested into the music. So we wish you many more successes on that front. So please, keep it up. Uh, do
Yeah,
you? Okay. Do you
how
mind?
is it been? Okay. Growing up in just 38.
Right.
Yes.
If you growing up in just 38.
Growing up it was a beautiful experience in the sense that my house was a nightclub. I grew up in a nightclub. I wake up and go to school, but when I come back, and it was almost like a how do I explain it? Like a no, I won't say Paramount Shopping Center. There was a video club. My mother's dentistry was here. My dad had a studio here. There was a restaurant. There was an art gallery. There was a video club. It was a multi-purpose space, and my house was right in the middle. And in the middle of that multi-purpose space, there will be events. There people will have their parties there, or my parents will have their regular Friday and Saturday jazz night. So I was exposed to a lot and had to stay focused in trying to go to school. They made sure I did that anyway. But that allowed me to pick up a lot of skills. I'm an extrovert. I socialize a lot because I'm out. I've been exposed to that. I was exposed to music, live music, late night music at a very early age. And that's just helped in my character or personality and in my music. So it was a very unique growing up experience, I won't lie. But I'm proud of it. It's part of what's made me who I am.
Fantastic. Great. Um, I wanted to ask a question. How there is relationship between yourself and Akogun David Hamilton. Could you go into detail about that for us?
Of course.
Just
So actually, it's actually almost like a mirror effect of how I explain my relationship with Fela. So my grandmother on my mother's side is Fela's brother. My grandmother on my father's side is David Hamilton's father's sister. So we are
Why
cousins.
did you want to know my relationship with him? Why did you want
no,
to
it
know
was just
how we are
it's
good
just
friends?
it's just so it's just so it's always good to know things a little bit and people to get another insight into who Boba is, and just
I
to
don't know
get
you're going to
a
ask
help
this
to.
question. I know why you're going to ask this question, but it's good. That's why I
No,
didn't think
so no, that's good. So
I never knew you're going to ask this question. I never knew you're going to ask this question. I never knew you're going to ask this question, but it's good. It's good
so
that you asked the
no, but I mean, but it's good to know that. It's good to know that. Um, so what are your who have you who are you planning? Are you into collaborations with other stars as well and things? You know, how's that? Is that something you're looking at as a way forward as well?
Of course.
In your career?
Yes, definitely. And it's funny you say that. On my last album I just released, I featured my great great granddad, Josiah Ransom Kuti, JJ. He released a song in the 1800s, late 1890s. That
Wow.
if I were back, to be honest with you, if I played for you here, not many people could even translate it. But I felt it very important to use that song as a way to echo an ancestor's, story and message in my own way. So that's who I featured on my last album. The song is called Ibala, which means not devotion. It means
Igbala
yes,
is to rescue,
rescue to
to
save
rescue
salvation,
and recover it to help, restore to help.
restore salvation. So yeah, so that's that was
Yes, salvation. Yes,
oh well, like you said,
that's correct. Yes.
so yeah, so I'm open to collaborating. I think my momentum in the last year or two has helped show people like yourselves and the world that that this is my kind of music is slightly different, but is also open to collaboration. So I'm talking to a few people. I don't want to mention names yet because let
No.
things manifest.
No.
But I'm open to collaborating with people in our industry, Afrobeat, but also outside. The great thing about being an artist anyway is that people from all over are attracted to the music and want to work. So I'm open, and I've been discussing with a few people about many ways to collaborate with them. So definitely. The only people I've collaborated with in the past are Reminisce, he's a rapper, on my album in 2018. I featured my late mom, actually, when she passed away, Fela Kuti, on an album that year as well.
That's the question I was about to ask.
Okay. So you featured Fela Kuti on your album as well.
Yes, I have.
In 2018. Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
It's an interesting fact to know. Brilliant. Do you when you play, do you have your own full set band, or how does it work? I'm just trying to get
Yes,
a picture.
yes.
Do you have your own full set band? And
I do. Sometimes we go up to 13 people. You know, Fela has sometimes 30, 70 people on stage. No, I don't do that. But I have a full band. So horn section, 4 or 5 horns, drums, bass, keys, dancers, backup singer, and myself. So it can be a big set depending on the kind of event. You know, some places it cannot even fit all of us sometimes on stage. But I like that organic big band feel. You know, a lot of people are not used to that these days. They're not used to that James Brown style or Fela style. Or,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
but sometimes, you know, some people just want to come and rock the mic with computer music, as they say. You know, with just saxophone and then some tracks. I can do both.
You can do that's the so that's what is that is the beauty of versatility. That means that you can in any area, and of course, it actually translates into you being able to expand your fan base. So yeah,
Yeah.
brilliant. I'm honestly I'm really pleased for you and what you're doing, and and we will talk some more. And I mean I've got a lot more questions. I don't know. Let me let ask
You
the
see,
question.
we ask, and let me ask one thing more. How your music music in America?
It's been great. It's funny you say that. So as part of my journey, because I don't live in Nigeria and I'm an artist with Nigerian music, you know, I wasn't sure whether I should. I used to live in England. I will try and promote in England, but I'll go back to Nigeria to promote. I moved to the US, and it's funny when I released or when I looked at my Spotify or my DSP statistics, my music is streamed more in the United States than it is in Nigeria. You know, so it's in a sense we're reaching a lot more people who are not necessarily Nigerian, who are. I mean, it's in Europe and America before Nigeria. You know, to be honest with you, in terms of the way my music is received or streamed, which is great, which shows that great music travels. Doesn't matter where it's from. I'm connecting with people who may have had a harder time understanding the music and the context of it because they're not Nigerian or not African. So it's actually doing pretty well. All my shows this year have been in the US. You know, I've not had a show in Nigeria yet this year, and because I'm based here, so it's important as an artist to impact where you are from or where you are physically and locally. So definitely, I've had a lot of activity in the US, so it's well received.
Have you ever played in Shrine before?
Nah, yes, I have. The same way how Jazz is a place in Nigeria's history of art and culture. Any artist would tell you that that was a place where you have to pass through if you really wanted to consider yourself a musician. For me, Shrine is a place that I feel like I have to pass through to show that I'm a musician. Yes, I played in Shrine a few times actually. The last time was not last year, the year before. I did Celebration. Celebration is a festival to celebrate Fela's birthday as opposed to his death. And I went with a full band, and yeah, so I performed at Shrine.
Oh, that must have been an honor. That must have been a privilege to have done that on that day.
It was a dream come true. It's honestly, especially being around family, it's magical, it's spiritual. It's in more ways than just physically performing. I felt, a sense of completion, taking my place in the circle of life, in the family legacy of what we do in a place like Shrine. So yes, I was very happy about
Fantastic, fantastic. Do you in the UK? Do you plan to have anything happening in the UK, or since
that.
you're kind of like you have the UK background, UK to the US. So I'm kind of wondering, is that something you're looking at some point?
Very much so. And all you guys are the big boys over there. David Hamilton, maybe you can help out there. But yes, definitely looking at the UK. UK was actually one of the top 5 places that streamed my music this year. Thank you. That's amazing. We didn't even really promote or push in the UK, but this tells us where people are listening to us. So the idea is definitely to come to the UK. The idea is to go to Germany. The idea is to go to other places in Europe and France because that's where the music is being played. Mexico as well. So yeah, so I definitely want to come to the UK. It's home for me, and I definitely would love to come and reconnect with people out there and show them my music because my music has changed from when I lived there to what I'm doing now. So that will be a homecoming. That will also be a great, similar to House Shrine, was an important piece of my journey. Coming back to England, the UK to perform will also be a great part of that. So.
I need to ask you one question. You talked about in one of the broadcasts that I like the way you framed it. You said it's good to talk about dance music, girls, and money and all of that, but talking about real issues. And that was that struck a chord. And it's just prompting me to ask that question now. Um, I take it you reflect what the current ongoings in Nigeria as best as you can in your music. It's never far away from that, or we always get ideas around that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a question.
Yes, I'm always inspired by my people and what we go through in Nigeria. So Ikoyi Boy was talking about the massacre, even though it was released after it had happened. It's important for me to resonate what we think. I feel like the youth of today are not given a chance to help bring Nigeria forward. So some leaders say that we're lazy, some leaders say that we're not taking advantage of our situation. So in my music and with what's happening now with the change of government and how we're struggling to see how people are dealing with the day-to-day economics of Nigeria, it makes sense. It will not make sense not to talk about it, because that's what matters, and talking about issues that we're passionate, we're involved, and we want to do things to make Nigeria better. Now, Nigeria has definitely come a long way. I'm proud of where Nigeria has come from. We are actually a very young country. So we compare ourselves to the UK or to the US, who are hundreds of years older in a sense. And that's a great thing because we aspire. The same way you told me I aspire to be like Prince, Nigeria aspires to be, and there are steps in between that journey to take us there. But the fact that we have that aspiration shows that the potential of the country is great. Nigeria has the most population of any country. It's Africa's giant for a reason. And a lot of us are frustrated because we're not seeing the growth or we're not seeing the way Nigeria should be. So I don't have to preach to the audience because you guys are Nigerians, so you get it. But to answer your question, yes, that plays a heavy part in my music as well, for sure.
Where can people get your one more question? Where can people get your music so they can get a flavor? Just talk about that. So I need to get people to.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
So my name is, even though my name is Babatunde Kuboye, that's a mouthful for a lot of people. Yes, so I just shortened to Baba. Baba Kuboye is my name. My website is babakuboye.com. My artist name is Baba Kuboye. My Spotify is Baba Kuboye. My Instagram, Baba Kuboye. Facebook, Baba Kuboye. TikTok, Baba Kuboye. So everything is just on my name. So if you want to listen to my music, if you want to buy any of my music, if you want to stream it, if you want to follow me, my name is across all platforms. That's how you can find my music and my website. And soon we'll be adding dates of events that I'll be having. So if you are in the vicinity of where I'm performing, come check us out. If you like what you hear, you can go on YouTube, follow, subscribe, check it out too, and save the playlist or share with your friends, but thank you. That's a great question. But anything you want to find out about my music is in my name.
What instrument do you play?
I play alto and tenor saxophone. I play keyboards right now. And I'm looking to master that a little bit more before I move to the next instrument. I didn't always play that. I picked up the saxophone during COVID, so about 2.5, 3 years ago now. And I've been playing keys. I learned keys and guitar as a kid, but I dropped it for a while because parents said go to school. So, but those are the instruments I play.
And then what festival or show have you done this year?
This year, I've done a few. South by Southwest is the biggest festival in the US. It's the biggest. So I did that in first quarter of this year. So that was great. That was the first time that we were able to leave Dallas. I live in Dallas, Texas. This wasn't in Dallas. This was outside Dallas. So it was great for us to go as a team. We took the full band there. We even played 1 or 2 Fela songs for them. So they got a flavor of the original Afrobeat, classic Afrobeat, and new school Afrobeat, which is what I do. There's something called Juneteenth. Juneteenth is a day in the US where, when slavery was abolished, not everybody found out about it in time. So, for whatever reason, because, people wanted to hold on to that, status quo. But Juneteenth is a new festival that celebrates, the abolition of slavery. It's a big festival here. I did that in Dallas in June, middle of the year. And I've done some shows in between. I won't say they are festivals, but I've done some shows in between. But those are the two festivals, the biggest stages in terms of festival music that I've done this year.
Okay.
Mr. IY?
Yes. In Nigeria, what, in terms of our people and what is going on now, how do you, and the youths there, do you have interaction with them, internally in terms of your music? Is there things that you're looking at in your music to actually be able to keep engaged with them, on ground?
That's a great question. So 60 to 70% of my audience are between the ages of 18 and 34. So a lot of the youth are listening to my music. And one of the things I wanted to do is, when God blesses me with the opportunity, is to do a tour circuit around Nigeria and Africa of universities. Because we are the future, we are the leaders of tomorrow. As well, and there's this Japa syndrome where people want to, hear, so I'm proudly African, I'm proudly Nigerian, but I'm a person that wants to tell people that when I was in university, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was doing it because my parents wanted me to do it. I have a lot of messages. One of them is, it's okay to do what you want to do as opposed to what your people think you should do. In Nigeria, as you know, we have 4 or 5 main professions. You must be a doctor, an accountant, a lawyer, an engineer. If you want to do
the usual,
if you want to do masseuse or massage, if you want to do sports medicine, they'll look at you that you're not serious. That was then. But now people can go into marketing, people can do t-shirt design, people can do music. It's okay as long as you know the discipline to follow your craft, enhance your craft, and then, so I also want to go to Nigeria to speak about, how we are the leaders and the future of tomorrow. Our culture makes it always difficult for us to not question, but speak up, speak our minds, because, we are told that we don't know anything. We should let those who are older and wiser handle everything. And yes, that is true, but I want to encourage us to get more involved in the community, because the more we can get involved, instead of thinking, well, let's leave it for them, then that way we can be the change that we seek, and things are rapidly changing every day. Some people don't understand AI today or the internet. People in government, in Nigeria are still trying to figure out, other things. So it's constantly evolving. For us who are close to the grassroots, who are close to the technology and these changes, if we get involved, then we can definitely also make an impact. So my idea is to connect with that. One, I know my demographic. I know how I need to reach them. So you've asked great questions about if I'm collaborating with, it's to that effect, and also how I can reach the people that listen to my music the most. So yes, those are my plans. I just need to figure out, the team and I have been talking about is just to figure out how to go around doing that. But that is the
plan. I've got a good question, another great question for you. And I know it's slightly political, but don't focus on that political side. What I want to look at is, see, you talked about going to all these universities and everything, and straight away a picture came in my mind.
Okay.
And the picture is, what infrastructures are in place to facilitate you to get to those places comfortably, to make sure, and in safety, and all of that. And having that there, knowing that it's not fully in place, what role should all of us, not just you now, play in actually getting our government to see that that needs to happen? I don't want you to go political here. It's not, please don't.
No.
I'm just saying the things that we need. Do you see that interaction at all?
I do.
And how would you look at answering it?
I do. And, when I share with other people my plans about doing this, they ask me the exact same question. How are you going to even try and attempt this? What is on ground? How are you going to do it? But I feel like there are people that go to universities, they're teachers. There's a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. And when people see that others are doing it. People sometimes don't want to take the first step because they feel it's very difficult, but it can be done. There's civilization in those places. I agree. I won't go into the political aspect, but there are people that live their lives and make a living, and there's an ecosystem that in all these places. So we just have to find a way to connect the dots. And once we do it once, our leaders don't need to know. Everybody goes abroad, or everybody has a TV or has a phone. They see how people are living in the West or other parts of the world. We should aspire to have that for ourselves back home. And I aspire for that. And rather than point fingers or say anything to anybody, I'll just use my gifts, my endeavors to try and go to these places on my own. And then by doing that, shed light on it, and hopefully that will help to increase the infrastructure you're talking about to make it happen.
Baba.
Great answer. Thank you so much. Great answer. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Iwan. I'm going to answer about 3 questions together, so I will allow you to continue. One, you're an engineer. You are an engineer, isn't it? You are an engineer, yeah? Are you still practicing, or you are doing music fully? The second one, the second one is I just forget now. But I don't forget.
You'll come back to you, sir.
I can answer that while you're thinking about it.
Okay, answer that one first. Answer that one first. I will remember the second one. Okay, now, do you write your music yourself, or somebody helps you write your music?
So I'm a full-time musician now, and I made that decision because for me to have the growth that you are seeing, it takes full attention and consciousness to make it happen. So today I'm not doing any engineering. Today I'm just doing music. To answer your second question about, I take pride in writing my music myself. Now, I also take pride in collaborating because it's important to work with. So Baba Kuboye is not just me. There's a team of people in and outside the music that help with the branding, the story, to help, because as an artist, I have so many ideas in my head. I need some sounding boards to help me sharpen and focus the message, and to make sure that at least that even down to what I wear, that I'm always on brand or on point. So to that effect, yes, I work with others, but I take pride in writing my own music myself because it's important it has to come from me, so I write my music.
Okay, Mr. Iwan.
Yes, studio. Can you tell us a little bit about studios? Do you work in? Do you have your own studio? Are you working with other people in the studio? Do you, just all about, so people can get an idea of, where all of the magic happens, and
Sure. So I have a studio together. I have a studio at home, and then it cannot fit the whole band. Sometimes when we have to record, we have to use live instrumentation, and if we have 13 people, they're not going to fit into my studio. I don't have the equipment for all of that. But as an artist, it's important to, if I wake up at 2 a.m. and I want to do something, I can voice it, I can write it down, I can perfect it. Back in the day, studios were very expensive, so we wanted to make sure you got it right before you go into the studio. But as I've done this over and over now, it's easier for me to just actually not spend too much time delivering or writing, because I'm learning to just let it flow. But when it's time to record, to master for what I'm going to put out, it's definitely a good idea to go to what I would call an analog studio, or a studio that has the equipment that can capture the warmth, not just digital music from my microphone in my house, but I do go to professional studios to work, especially when I'm working with musicians or producers. We need a comfortable space that is just for that. So I definitely work in studios. So my last 2 albums, I recorded some of the music in Nigeria. I have a band I use in Nigeria. Even though I'm based in the US, I make it a point to make sure that I use local creatives, because I want to give them an opportunity to continue using their craft to feed their families and give back to the economy in Nigeria. The video Ikoyi Boy that I won an award for, I shot that in Nigeria. I left here to go back there to shoot that video because I wanted to show where I was from. Now, Ikoyi, obviously, I cannot shoot Ikoyi in Dallas because there's no Ikoyi here. But Kalakuta Girl, all my music, all the producers I use, all the people that even help create the artwork, the messaging, even my PR, marketing, legal team, I make it a point to make sure that we're mostly African and Nigerian based, because that's how I give back. to my country. Now, also here, there are studios here I work at as well. So I go to studios locally, and sometimes if I'm working with producers who are in a different state, I'll meet up with them and go to the studio there. But so to answer your question, is twofold. I have a local one which is mobile in my home. I take that with me, but sometimes I go to a professional studio to record the work.
Baba,
Brilliant.
do
Yeah,
you?
go ahead.
Sorry, wait, 1 minute, please, sir.
No, go ahead. Go
Are
ahead.
you married? Because what? Are you married? And how many? If you are, if you are married, how many
Mhm.
wives? Because but we know Fela Kuti. I want to know.
I'm married. I've been married for since 2010, so about 13 years now.
So how
I
many?
have
How many?
Okay.
three children, three girls. I have three girls. One wife for now. You know, women are like, oh,
For now. For now.
For now.
I'm married about 25 wives.
For now.
Yogu.
one wife. So I won't do as much as I love Fela. I don't know if I have the capacity to handle 27 or 28 women the way he did. So, no. So, but yes, I am married and I have three beautiful girls.
Okay. Anyway, continue.
Fantastic. I was just going to ask, what do you do for relaxation to get away from what you normally do? What do you do? What do
Wow.
you?
You know, music is my relaxation for the last
Okay.
part of it. You know, it's very therapeutic for me to put down what I'm thinking or play an instrument and just going with the flow. But apart from that, you know, I work out. You know, I'm a dad. You know, sometimes it's good to have that context switch, something that takes your mind away from what you're doing, so you can reset when you come back with fresh ideas and thoughts. You know, I'm being of video gaming. You know, but mostly with the kids, and you know, socially. You know, so I'm out a lot. But you know, exercise, gaming, uh, daddyhood, and just being out with it. That takes me
Yes.
away from the music.
How
Oh,
often do you go
fantastic.
to Nigeria? And if you go to
I like-
Nigeria, do you
mm.
do you go to shrine or what musician do you meet when you go to Nigeria?
Um, so I try and go every year. I did
Mm,
not go this. I haven't been this year yet,
okay.
but this is Christmas, so that might change. So I try and go every year, at least once a year. I try and go to the shrine if I can. If not, you know, there's always so much to do in Nigeria when I'm there, and I want to also try and be. I was born in Lagos, but there's so much Nigeria outside Lagos that I want to expand and explore that outside Lagos. You know, so you know, I'm from Igbo
I
Taco.
can see your little daughter there.
She, hey,
Hello. Oh,
Hello,
oh, cute.
Miss Kim.
Absolutely
mm,
How
beautiful. Oh, gorgeous.
mm. Thank you. So and Abeokuta as well. But yes, I mean, I try and go back home every year, and depending on where business takes me, I'm in and out of Lagos.
have you been to Igbo Taco before?
I have now. Have you been?
Me? I was,
Hmm.
of course, I was born there.
Hmm. Yeah, so I've been there before. I've only been there once when my grandfather died. I would love to go back. I would love to, you know,
Mm.
take my kids back there so they can see home and all of that. But yes, I've been back.
Dr. Baki, welcome on board. Dr. Baki is here. Your friend from America is Dr. Baki. Welcome on board.
Okay.
Dr. Baki is welcome, Dr. Baki. Ayo, you want to add something?
No, no. You go ahead now. I've got something, but
Go
I
ahead,
will ask.
go ahead.
Go for the next
Go
one.
ahead, Ayo, go ahead.
Okay. Um, I, I've just got a brain freeze right now. You go ahead now, and I'll come and I want to frame it properly. Give me a second. Um,
If I don't know if anyone want to call in, if you want to have
yes. Sorry. Quick
one
one.
minute, please.
How do you your song, the song that won the award? Can you send it into the
Yeah, I
studio?
don't
Now we are not going to play
exactly
it because
because of
you
copyright.
can't play it. But I wondered if it's possible to have a picture of it so that like just a quick second of it for people to see, and then they can go onto that page. So that way it helps drag it, if you see what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
You have a link or somewhere?
I have a link to the video. Yes, I'll share that. Give me a second. Let me see.
Yeah. So, bros, you mute it. Do not play it because they will have restrictions and things. But don't play with the sound. But just like a few seconds so that people can see.
Okay, so I'm going to like put it in the chat, like a link to it. Is that what you want?
Yeah. Well, put it in the chat. Yeah. In fact, put it in the chat box as well for people to follow right now.
Okay.
That's a good idea as well, so people can see.
Yes, that was the.
That way, at least. Yeah. Okay.
Was that
you got it in there?
Was that the way you were thinking about, or did you have something else in mind?
No. I was actually thinking that is even a better idea because people can actually go and see themselves as well. But I was thinking, I don't know if it's possible for us to maybe we shouldn't do it in the studio. It might cause problems if it's not been planned. So, but it's good that you shared it anyway because people can see that. And I'm gonna go and have a look myself now to see if I can actually see it.
I'll go
and play it myself.
I'll go get it now. I haven't got it yet, bro. Okay. So.
Yeah, let me use opportunity to welcome everyone here. Comrade, welcome on board. David Hamilton, friend. Let me see. Christopher Martin, welcome on board. Comrade, welcome on board. Bless you with the star. Comrade, God bless you. Dr. Barking, welcome on board. Ade Richard, all of you, welcome on board. God bless you. Continue, continue. If you want to call in, please feel free to call in or tap your.
Yeah, please do call in.
Yeah, you want to call in.
Now, in terms of the industry, Afrobeat industry, it has grown tremendously around the world. How do you, yourself as an artist, are you influenced by that or you influenced it? See what I'm saying?
No, please ask the question again so I can understand the concept. What was the question again?
Now, Afrobeat is gone global.
Yes.
It's global. Now, I'm just trying to see how would you, has it influenced you as an artist or have you influenced it? Do you feel, would you say, how do you feel about it in terms of the influence? Is it been both ways or one way or the other? Just to get an idea.
Yes, yes. So Afrobeat is definitely more global now, and this journey or this momentum started a while back because many of us started embracing more of our own music and culture instead of that of the West. I remember even when I was living in Nigeria, there was one time you go to clubs or parties or events and it was mostly Western music. Now you will not hear that. You know, we want to hear our own music, whether it is Fuji or Afrobeats or whatever. People want to hear our own music. We might put in one or two songs just to, but so that essence of embracing our culture has expanded to the diaspora where people are asking questions or talking about our music more, that are sharing our music with the global platform and scale. So now it's spreading like a wildfire Afrobeat. So it's, am I adding to it? I'm just happy that I'm in a place and space and time where it's a great time to be an Afrobeat artist. It's a great time to be alive. It's a great time to share, do music the way I do. And I'm happy to be able to contribute in my way, shape, or form to the music.
I'm glad that is a brilliant answer because you've really given it the honesty. I can hear the honesty coming through. You're saying that, it's part of you growing up. You've been yearning to have something of ours in the music, and now you are able to. The platform is there for you to do that. And of course, you are contributing to it.
Yeah.
The songs that you write, talking about Ikoyi, it's a story you're telling about somewhere that you grew up in and the experiences you went through. And the music that you play is an expression of that. So you are definitely influencing it, in my opinion. That's just me, but that's how I see it. But thanks for the answer.
Okay.
Great answer.
Thank you, say why. 1 minute, please. We have a lot of people who want to call in now. I will call Dr. Barkin, and the studio number is who want to call in. The studio number is 074 48 41 00 0027. I repeat again. 074 48 41 0027. WhatsApp only. You can call him both WhatsApp and this thing direct. I repeat, Dr. Baba.
If you can put it on the screen, or if you can put it on the screen, or pin it on in the pin section in the comment section as well.
Okay.
Can you put it in the comment section as well, sir? If you can do that.
We have first caller on the line, Dr. Bakin from America. Doctor, welcome on board, sir. Yeah, hold on. I don't know why it's not in the speaker. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, it's there now. Go on, sir.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear, sir. Welcome on board, sir.
Yes, I want to thank you and Citizen Ayo for doing an amazing job with my brother.
Thank you, sir.
My friend, Baba.
Thank you, sir.
God will continue to help.
Thank you.
God will continue to bless you guys.
God bless you, sir.
Baba, my first question is, do you speak Yoruba?
I do, but not as well as I should. So I can hear, but I don't speak very well.
You know the reason why I asked you that question?
Why?
You represent the glory of the Yoruba land.
Yes.
You represent the glory of Yoruba people.
Yes.
The progeny of great musicians from Nigeria. Not even from Nigeria, from Yoruba land. And I want to tell you, I want to encourage you, just to let you know the sky is your limit. You have just started. The award you see is a small one compared to the one that is coming. I see you holding your altar. I see you carrying the flag of the Yoruba people higher, not only in America or in Nigeria, but globally. I see already have the seed in you, and it's not the one that can be buried. I see the seed that is going to shine, and the people will be like, who is this? Because you are there to represent that glory. And I tell you, the alliance of Yoruba, when I say the alliance, we are talking about the guys, they are going to back you up, they are going to support you. It's going to be so. All you need is keep the work going on. Keep the work going on, and we are going to be here to celebrate you. So believe that. My next question is this. Are you currently working with a promoter anywhere, either in the US or outside?
No, I'm not. And the reason is not because I don't want to. A lot of promoters and people in the music industry before now did not take me as seriously before I won the award, because maybe they just thought that I wasn't at the point where I was worth working with as a brand, as an artist. But now, because I won the award, I'm now receiving a lot more interest. So I've always wanted to, but the industry works in a way where people want to see, you have to prove yourself or prove the concept first. And thankfully, the Hollywood Independent Music Awards is not there's no politics in this one. It's not man, no man. It's just based purely on the music. And, that's giving me a leverage of something to work with. So I'm actually open and talking to people now. The team and I are talking to people. So, and I came on this platform to also share that interest as well. If anyone is interested in working as a promoter and knows the industry, I'm open to that as well.
Yeah, I am glad that you are open to that. And I think it's going to be a good avenue to promote the good work that you have started. I just hope that the right person come at the right time for you. And that's going to be all my questions. Thank you for the effort, the good job. And thanks David Hamilton for bringing a wonderful work like this to our people.
Thank you, sir.
So we can appreciate that we have people like this that are representing us. That's why I could not wait to share that award that day. When I saw it, I said, who is this glory of the Yoruba people? Where is he? Where is he hiding from? But I'm thankful that that glory is going to continue to shine. Many awards, many glories, many blessings ahead of you. Thank you, and keep up the good work.
Amen. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you for going, sir.
We have another caller online.
Hello?
Hello, caller, can you reduce the volume of your device, please?
I don't see.
Okay. Okay.
Hello?
Hello.
All right? Keep talking.
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
I'd like to say thank you for bringing this young man.
Thank you, sir.
I happen to be one of those that saw his parents
Oh yeah. So you didn't go to Jazz Festival then?
Yeah. I'm in New York now. I've been out of the country for over 40 years.
Oh my God. That was a long time.
I remember when his dad first came to, I used to see his dad at Empire, the last time at Empire.
Empire, yeah.
He used to wear canvas.
You know Uncle very well. Today, Kuboye is well.
Yes.
Wow, you really know Tunde Kuboye very well. Oh, good to you.
At the time I came up in the 80s, I bought one of his CDs, and one of the songs is Wahala or something like that.
Yes. Wow. And this young man was in Jazz then, playing up and down, running up and down in Jazz is like you are in New York or you are somewhere in that time, you see all this when you go to food there, all these people ambassadors from everywhere, every corner just come there. Fela will come there, Tunde Bokno, many of them like that. I mean, Fela played there.
I got to know that he's a relative of the family.
Yeah.
So I just discovered him, so I'm going to, I'm somebody that's willing to listen to music, so I'm going to work on you. And I sent a message on YouTube. I said, is he going to work with Fela Kuti?
Okay, I was seeing that question when I was trying to find out how to post the video. So I posted the video that I want to work on the private chat. So Citizen AY and David Hamilton, if there's a way we can move into the public forum, I don't know how to do that. I'm a bushman like that. But,
okay. I will try and if you can send it to me, I can post it onto the platform.
What was that?
The link. I think he sent the link to you.
I don't know how to do it with mine.
Okay.
If not,
my son know how to do. My son will do it for me here.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Okay. And to answer your next question about Made, first of all, sorry, go ahead.
Thank you.
So, Baba,
mute it. I think there's a playback going on somewhere. Tell them to turn the music, the volume down so they can hear it. I think somebody's playing something else.
Okay, it's gone now. Okay, Baba, what do you have to say?
Well, first of all, I wanted to say, Made, my cousin just got married, so congratulations to him. We're so happy and excited that he is taking that step. We can't wait for the babies to come so we can have little nephews and nieces and whoever to play with. But of course, I'm open to working with him. I worked with Femi. I'm yet to work with Shehu and Made. Made and I told with Made briefly and his dad. Cousin Femi and Made were both here. We did some tours some dates in California and Seattle around summer last year. So of course I'm open to working with him. It's when the stars align, of course we will. But of course, I mean, why not? If I can work with that, of course I would love to work with him.
How about Shehu?
Shehu as well. Yes, of course I'd love to work with Shehu as well. So Shehu is busy right now. I think he's in Brazil. Everybody has a busy schedule. Even Femi Kuti himself, he's a very busy man. I saw him the most on that tour because that's where we get to see each other. But outside that, he's moving A, B, and C. Me, I'm moving X, Y, and Z. But of course, I'm open to that as well, for sure.
Okay. The line is still open. If you want to call in, the line is still open before we end the program. The line is still open. Carry on. The line is still open.
I think there's not much else that I want to say. I mean, you mentioned Brazil. Are you looking at other markets as areas of potential expansion, if you like? Because we said Afrobeat has gone global, and I know very much that Brazil, there is that affinity with us because of the history. So that would be a natural progression, certainly for your music, I think. Is that something you look at, or is that something that you're factoring in?
Yeah, definitely factoring in that. So definitely, like you said, we have that cultural connection with South America, Cuba, Brazil in general. One of my fastest growing areas is Mexico, based on where I'm seeing people are streaming my music, and that's probably because it's close to where I am in Dallas. But there's also a kind of similarity in the kind of music we do. They also sometimes, some of their music in the Mexican or South American side uses mariachi, which is a horn section, slightly different to what we do with Afrobeat, but there are some overlaps and similarities.
Yeah.
The Latin vibe has the same kind of stuff. So there is there's room for that fusion, and of course I'm definitely open. It's there's a big yearn for Afrobeat and that kind of music in that part of the world. And when we find the right promoters to work with, then for me as an independent artist and label, my was to try and just hold on the craft, focus on the music, and put it out there. Now it's out there, and I'm thankful it's been well received. The idea is to definitely now world domination. We had to prove the concept first. For lack of better words. So it seems like the concept has been proven. Thankful for all the feedback I'm getting, especially in a forum like this. I will not be successful without the support of of people and platforms like this. So thank you definitely for it. But to answer your question, of course, definitely Brazil, anywhere in the globe that wants to receive my music, I'm ready to go and put it out there.
Now, how are you close to Fela Kuti? Are you very close? Well, I know your dad, your mom, and Fela are very close when they were put alive. They were very because I remember when Fela was sick before your mom died. Actually, Fela died, your mom died.
Correct.
When Fela died, your mom died. But when Fela was sick, your mom she's the only one. Fela were allowed to even feed him, to talk to him. If Fela doesn't want to take drugs, it's only your mom that Fela were allowed. So how close are you to the children like Femi and Sheung
and Madi? So the other children of Fela, apart from those 2 or 3, but those are the ones people know, I guess, know more of the most. We're a family. We're close. Fela and my mom were very, very close because I think Fela saw my mom as his sister's child. He took her like a dad, and that bond was there. Cousin Femi is like an eggbon to me. He's a mentor. If I have any questions or issues, he's very well experienced in the industry. He's open to me. He's always very responsive, but he's a busy man. So I would say that I'm open. The channels are always open with him. I'm close to Sheung as well. I'm close to Madi. Eggbon is Eggbon, so I know the stuff.
How about Yeni?
Cousin Yeni. Thank you for your reminder. Cousin Yeni too is she's an angel. She is very passionate, very, very supportive and encouraging in my journey as well. So yes, so very close to them too. I won't say as close as Fela was to my mom, but it doesn't mean we're not close. It doesn't mean that their doors are always open to me and my doors are always open to them. For sure.
How about Nike and Lukoy's on the Dotun?
So there's cousin Nick, there's from background more than one child. Cousin Dotun, Uncle Koye's first, Uncle had more than one child. We're all very, very close. I mean, we all talk and wish each other happy birthday, or when are we meeting again as a family. We're close as a family. Yes, we are. So there's nobody off my radar. We're all family, but everybody's busy with their day-to-day. But if I need anything, and if they need anything, and they are following and tracking my progress too. So they are the ones that every reach out to me and say, to me that they don't call me, people that call me Baba, people that know me professionally, but they know me as family. So, and they knew me growing up. So to me, I'm their boo. So of course, they're definitely very supportive and open to me.
Hey, why?
No, I guess I don't have anything directly now, but I wanted to just really say, for me, I'm really quite, I'm glad the way you answered all the questions faced to you, in truthfully, honestly, and I've been able to get a better insight, and I'm sure many people will have been able to get many more insights into yourself as an artist, as a person, and it's all endearing towards helping in your music as well, and there is a shining light that comes through when you speak to people and when you answer questions and when you speak about things, especially things that you are passionate about. So that shines through. What I would just say is keep that in the music, because you're a shining light for Yoruba people, and please,
continue in that field. And definitely there'll be more. We hope to have more interviews with you. As you're going through this great career of yours, and talk about the things that you're doing and your new projects, and help you push that along as well, because that's what we should really be doing. I think one of the things I want us all as Africans to begin to do is to make sure that we look after our own and build that up, because it's not when they suddenly come that we suddenly say, oh, we need to build from the time that there's nobody there to the time when there's lots of people, because then it builds that sense of unity in our community, and it's how we can actually grow something substantial and long lasting. But yeah, I don't have any more questions. But of course, if you do have any more things that you would like to share with us in terms of tour dates, in terms of projects that you're looking at, or then yeah, please do share it. But yeah, I'm honestly, it's a pleasure talking to you. I could talk to you for hours. Just now, we could literally.
Thank you, Ewa. Before we go, I would like to ask you more about your dad and your mom again. About your
Okay.
dad and your mom. Your dad is jazz musician. How is it now? How is your dad after your mom passed away? How is he doing now? How is your dad?
My dad is
Dad.
he's doing well. He's in Nigeria. He's more of a man of God. He doesn't do gospel. He doesn't do jazz anymore. He doesn't play. He hasn't played. He doesn't play. The last time he held a guitar was when we were doing that Kuti Boy video. He was in that video because I wanted that.
Video, yeah, I saw your video.
Yes, I wanted that to be referenced. So I had pictures of those that my ancestors that were not here, my family that was here. I had my mom, Fela, my grandmother, and JJ. But my dad is living, and I'm thankful that God has blessed him with long life. So he's in his 70s, late 70s. So he's fine. He's in Lagos. He's carrying on in his day-to-day endeavors with what gives him fulfillment now. So, but he's fine, not in music. But definitely not in the musical. He's not the Tunde Kuboye that the doctor was saying was wearing canvas and was at shrine back in the days, Sule. But in his own way, he's still.
Is he born again Christian now?
Yes, he is.
Okay, the last question, let me ask you. How do you feel when you hear about coming from? Okay, let me put it like this. When you hear about your grandma, Fumilayo Kuti, coming from that area, how do you feel?
Oh, I feel a sense of pride. I'm learning even more and more every day about the impact she had back then. And, that helped me summarize that I come from a family of community service. Like when even listening and hearing Fela's story then, and seeing how it's sacrificial out of passion to help others grow, it inspires me to want to play my own part. I'm glad that we're in a time where, there's that equality gap that's been reduced between men and women. That was something she had to heavily address. How many people can say they come from a family where, their great grandmother helped negotiate independence, was the first woman to drive a car in Nigeria, or inspired, women's rights in Abeokuta. It's a blessing. These are kind of things that you cannot make. They have to be given to you. So a question I ask myself, how can I perpetuate that in my own circle of life to continue in the legacy of that? I have girls, I have 3 daughters. I want to encourage and inspire them to know that, that they can be anything they want. Don't let anyone project any sense of self-worth that is less than to them. So, it's an honor to be part of a family. She's just one person out of a spectrum of people, a spectrum of spirits, a spectrum of influences that have helped shape Nigeria. So I'm just thankful and grateful to be part of that and finding my own way to make my own contribution.
Just on that question, if I may interject, actually, when you hear discussions around feminism and how it's being put across in the world now, don't you think that the foundations of feminism lies actually in our culture, in the likes of the way that our great mom, Kuti, I don't even, I'm even struggling to say her name because I hold her in such high esteem. You know, doesn't that make you sort of make us understand as Africans that actually we are the foundation of what they are now terming feminism because by the active demonstration of their actions on ground.
Yes,
How do you feel about that?
I feel great that I'm learning more. That I grew up in a time where I was told that, or I was taught that Africans, we didn't know anything. We were colonized and they taught us everything that we know. So we were like mumus, and then they came and they taught us education and all that. But I'm learning that before that, know that there was a history, there's an empire, there's also a lot of knowledge that came from the tribes or the cultures of Africa that have actually been, incorporated by the West. And feminism or equality in women's rights is one of those as well. So I'm happy that we're enlightened enough to move in that. It took a fight, took a struggle, similar to civil rights here in the US. It didn't happen overnight, but it's something that we actually adopted in Yoruba culture very early on, to be very honest with you, that people like Umla helped champion, and that we continue to work with today.
Great.
You're on mute.
We can't hear you, sir. We can't hear you. You're muted.
Hey, what? You are from Egba.
Can you hear us? Yes, I'm from Egba. Yes, Ifo. Egba, yes. Egba Remiu. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi, ṣé ni mo kí yín o? Ìdọ̀bálẹ̀ rẹ̀ mọ́ wá o. Ìdọ̀bálẹ̀ rẹ̀ mọ́ wá o. No. Honestly, to be honest, one of the things that I am proud of is the fact that we Egbas, we are proud people. We stand for what is right, and they can call it whatever label they want to call, but it is part of who we are in our growing up and standing up for fairness and justice. The women who stood up against the taxes and all of that, it demonstrates that, and that is carried along, thankfully, in your own ancestry, Baba. Whereby there's activism in your in your family and what you do, and it's coming through in your works as well. So I've got the song here actually, but I can't play it again.
Yeah.
I've got the song. I managed to find it on YouTube.
Okay.
So what I will be doing is I will talk about it again in my shows, and hoping we'll do more interviews anyway. I think it's really important because we need to air those kind of things. I'm really keen to do that. So I'll speak to my Egbon, and we do more shows, either myself with Egbon or myself and you, because we need to promote things like this. People can get a sense of what really, who you are as a person, and showcase you, rightly so, to actually let the people know, there's more to you as well. And it actually gives us room to actually grow the Afrobeat in other areas, in areas that are currently not the case. So yeah, what's this piece? I would say.
Okay.
Well, yeah, well done.
Thank you, Sidewa. Baba Tumida, Kuboye, Ikoyi boy. Before you go,
yes,
Ikoyi boy who is playing music, playing Afrobeat in America now. Ikoyi boy, Omajebota.
And I knew you were going to say that at some point. I was waiting for it.
Hey, Baba, what do you want to tell all your friends from all over the world and the listeners? What do you want to tell them?
I want to say thank you to people like you and Citizen AY for these platforms. These are the kind of platforms, and you bring together a sense of community. Today we are doing music, but outside Nigeria, people look up to people like you because of the reach you have to your audience. So I want to thank you for first of all having me on your show. It's an honor, it's a blessing. I'm thankful for the opportunity to showcase my music. I'm thankful for the support. I'm thankful for the Yoruba heritage and culture that you guys share and shine, because we share in that pride. Thank you to your listeners and to the audience as well. I thank everybody that supported my journey and my music and that gravitates to my music. It's an honor. It's a blessing for me. I feel like it's a gift that I have, and I'm sharing it with the world. I put it out to the universe, and what is bringing back at me, I'm humbled every day by it. So please keep supporting the music. Please keep sharing it, and please keep following and watching this space, because I feel like I've not even scratched the surface yet. in terms of what my capabilities are and what I want to do to impact the culture.
Before you go, if you can really do this, I should allow you to speak Yoruba before you go. Speak Yoruba. So speak it anyhow you.
I shake for wait, this is my little one behind me here. So I'm on the phone, darling. Let me finish on the phone, I'll come back, okay? Sorry, my little kids are headed.
Oh, okay, what you are looking for? Look at you, Louis Tony. Lemo wa kaleo.
Speak Yoruba, so Yoruba can go.
More so that don't laugh about it, but more good dear, so that so that's the
and but dear, that pushing for dear.
I don't speak English with you.
I know.
I don't speak Yoruba with you. I don't speak English with you all the time. I don't speak to you. We understand, but you cannot speak very well. Yeah, so you want to do something.
You know what? That's true. The more I get better at it, my pronunciation is not very
yes.
But I agree. I actually want to do more. I didn't put more Yoruba in my music. I put some, but I could put more.
But let me answer one question. Your mom was born in London here, and you grew up in London here. You're right. Before you came back to Nigeria, here they even have she has British accent before she goes away. Did she? I've not seen her before. Because anytime I want to speak to her, I always speak her in English. I'm not sure. Can she speak Yoruba?
So that's a very good question. And the answer is she couldn't speak Yoruba. That's the reason I'm not blaming. So they say that the tongue of the mother is the tongue that, the household takes. So my mom grew up in England and she never spoke Yoruba. She moved to Nigeria after university and everything. So she never spoke Yoruba. And I've had opportunities to learn Yoruba outside of home, but that's the reason why I can't speak Yoruba, because we all spoke English.
Okay? Here's my suggestion. Èmi máa ń ṣe program. We do a program lórí Oduduwa Team Radio. A máa ń sọ Yorùbá. Tune in. Tábà tí à ń sẹ̀ǹdẹ̀ sí ẹ tune in kó máa gbọ́ tó bá ń gbọ́ Yorùbá. Wàá lè máa bá wa sọ. À ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa oúnjẹ, ìwé, aṣọ, àṣà, gbogbo oríṣiríṣi pẹ̀lú alàgbà David Hamilton náà. Àwọn náà Yorùbá. A máa ń sọ Yorùbá. A fẹ́ kó yé àwọn ọmọ wa. Adẹ̀fẹ́ kẹ́tẹ̀ẹ́ máa kọ́ àwọn ọmọ tó wà lẹ́yìn yẹn náà wọ́n láti mọ Yorùbá o torí àwọn la máa fi ilẹ̀ Yorùbá lẹ̀ fún nígbà tí gbogbo wa máa lọ àmọ́ ẹ ṣe ẹkú gbìyànjú ẹ ṣeun gan ni ṣé gbọ́n tí mo sọ já tó yẹ yìí.
I can translate it for you, but I can't repeat it about what you said. What is that?
But ẹ máa sọ díẹ̀ ni ẹ máa sọ díẹ̀ ni.
Okay.
Ṣé wọ́n pé wọ́n bí mi sí ní sókè òkun ni. Wọ́n bí mi sílé. Wọ́n bí mi sílé, wọ́n bí mi sókè òkun, wọ́n bí mi sí ọ̀sẹ̀. Wọ́n bí mi sílé.
I mean, you don't understand.
I don't know if you understood. I wasn't born in Nigeria. I was born in UK. But I speak the language because I went home and my grandma taught me.
Okay.
When I was 4.
Okay.
So that's and what she taught me is what I speak today as a language. And I mean, all those years I've never forgotten. So I think that your kids will have that as well once you start going home.
You were born in Nigeria. You were.
No. But we understand. Ó ti ṣàlàyé pé màmá òun wọ̀ sọ́sọ́.
You have to learn it.
Yeah, so especially for my kids as well. I want to.
Ntọ́ máa ṣẹlẹ̀ ní pé ọ máa fi sínú orin next time orin tí wọ́n máa kọ ẹ máa fi púpọ̀ nú ẹ̀ sí. So kó máa jẹ́ bí chorus line àwọn kan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn so àwọn èèyàn mọ̀ pé ẹ ti ń get.
You know, I told you, me and you are going to Botago together.
Yes, we are. The Yoruba is different too, but yes, we're going to.
The Yoruba is different. His own accent now.
Nobody. But it's a pleasure. It's a real pleasure talking to you. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us in your busy schedule. And I thank you for answering all our questions and your beautiful family as well. We wish you success, happiness, wealth, and growth in helping empower and make taking the Yoruba language to the entire world and our culture. So yeah, onwards and upwards we say to you, and we wish you more successes. Thank you from myself, Sizne Wa here. I'll leave my boss to carry on and with that as well. Thank you, Eshion.
Thank you, Sizne Wa. My Ikoyi boy, my Batumeda, Omo Igbotako, Omo Kale, Omo Abeokuta, Omo Jebu, you are related to everywhere, you know, everywhere. So we are going to end it in Yoruba. You have to do Yoruba for good now.
Thank you very, very much.
Anyway, thank you, Tumida. This is the second time you are coming to my program.
Yes.
So next time we're going to meet next CDY platform, right? Direct CDY platform. He's a musician too.
Yes. We just didn't have a time to connect and play.
Yes. Activist, you know, like your family, human rights. So that's so next time we will come from there. Thanks for calling again. God bless you, Tumida. God bless you. We'll see you.
Thank you. God bless you too.
So thank you, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. See you next time. My name is Akogun David Hamilton. Bye for now.